Evening everyone, welcome to round 3 of the Simufur GT4 Championship. Today it takes us to the track you can see in front of you now, Oulton Park, one of the latest tracks released along with the British GT content. Other British tracks released of course were Snetterton and Donington along with Oulton Park, but we come here today with the GT4 racers. You can see in the practice session at the moment, not many of them, but that's because it's not the official practice. Coming up for this next 25 minutes of the session, we'll have a look at some of the racers on the grid, do a bit of a track walk as well, have a look at some cars going through the corners, etc., just like we did last week before we go into the official practice session. The official practice session will be, I believe it's 10 minutes long or 12 minutes long. Either way, there will be no commentary. For that, we'll be watching the live timetables. Then we move into 7 minutes of qualifying before moving into one of two 20-minute races. Between the first 20-minute race and the second one, there's another 7-minute qualifying session for the drivers to get another go at scoring first place on the grid. Hopefully we see more tonight. Quite a good turnout so far. About 6 less than what there is normally. But we'll soon see when it gets to the official session. So anyway, we're gonna hit drive now. We are on board with Oraz. But we are going to come away from them and let them do their thing. I'm going to head back to the start-finish straight now. Which is, I believe, just up here. And of course, the pit exit. Quite a nice, pit entrance. Quite a nice entrance. Comes straight off the track and stops. Nothing like Zolder where there's possible risk of hitting a wall if you don't hit the brakes hard enough. But the race, and then quite a long exit, but it does come out very narrowly back onto the racing line. You can see the dark bit of track there. Yep. Apologies for that. Hello to everyone that has joined. Welcome to the stream. Starting the track walk in just a few minutes. Whoops. Goodness. Use the mouse scrolling wheel to speed up this camera movement, and sometimes you speed it up so much. You see that happen? It's very sensitive. So, let's get ourselves a track map. Okay, so Starting off at the start-finish line where the drivers will be. Let's see, what have we got? Yep, so here it is. So notice a little bit further on. Oops. So this is effectively the start-finish straight. Coming off the corner we see there called Deer Leap. Probably won't remember all these when it comes to actual qualifying, but there we go, or race. So not a very long start-finish straight before you get down to Old Hall Corner. A corner that can be taken, well, with me racing on it, I can take it in gear 3. There's ZZ, one of our only Camaros out tonight. It's easy enough to get right, but again, easy enough to get wrong, if that makes sense. There's Avalanche there in their very well-equipped Mercedes. Fantastic little car for a GT4. Watch one more car come round. No, we won't. They've pulled over in the middle of the track. Hopefully that doesn't reflect on. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the real thing. Anyway, so go from Old Hall down this corner, Old Hall, excuse me, and Avenue. Down this sort of straight, but a long, narrow right-hand corner can catch you out if going at top speed. This is Denton's. It is technically a corner, but it's called Denton's. We're going to see if we do have a car coming down. I believe it's Wushel. No, it's Oraz. There he goes. Since it's Oraz we're following, you can see his HUD in the bottom right. So what he's doing with brakes and acceleration and gears, and then in the left of the map you can see where he is on track. But we are going to get there ever so slightly. There's his partner Blaze going round now. So anyway, that's Denton's. This little corner here is called the Cascades corner. Again, if you get it right, you absolutely catapult yourself out the corner onto the little bit of a straight track there, which is onto this little bit of straight track here called Lakeside. Moving into corner just you see ahead of us there called Island Bend. Bit of lift required for this corner. Very smooth indeed. There's Spirit now going round in the rather pink BMW. You can see when they go through the corner they use all the roads. As you're going through doing the same. You can see they're very much sticking to the racing line, which is a little dark strip. Watch Lunatic go through it now. Little dark strip, he's slightly to the left of it. But anyway, on to going from that corner, which is Island Bend. We then come to our first hairpin, which is it's down here is Shell Oil's corner. So very tight, very banked corner. Just very banked corner indeed. There we go, there's Oraz going through now. You can see he's in gear 2. Remains in gear 2, does a bit of lifting as well. Just to get through the track. Just to get through the corner, excuse me. Watch Blaze go through now. Oh, someone didn't quite make it happen. It's Abby. No, it's not. It's Danny. Excuse me. Well saved from that corner, I might add. Well saved. Anyway, going from Shell Oils, you then come down this long bit of road here. Thinking you're going top speed until you get to this absolute horrible chicane. in my opinion. It's called Fileston's. It's a nightmare of a chicane to get through. You don't know what speed you should be going at. We're going to watch Zizi go through it now. Yeah, very cautiously through. Someone else slightly didn't make a corner there. They carried on towards the tyres. Hopefully it's not going to be too much damage for them. Anyway, we'll watch Spirit go through. A little bit of touch on the grass there, but you can see it's not the kindest corner. So that's Filestones. We'll be watching out for that chicane in qualifying. Come on to Hilltop now. It's a nice long straight corner. Into another awful chicane, in my opinion. It's called... That's called Knickerbrook. Knickerbrook. There we go. Someone's already taken the tyres out on Knickerbrook. We can see that there. See if we can catch a car or two coming through this one. So again, slowing all the way down to gear 2. Got a couple of cars heading up now. Slowing all the way down to gear 2, mostly lifting to get through that very hard first bit. Start putting your foot down. Who have we got? I could swear I saw 2 cars coming through. Got one on Shell Oils at the moment, so maybe they'll be with us shortly. Little bit of a mistake coming out in that corner there. That's what it does. Here we have Spirit going through. So as you can see, very slow through the first bit. Back on the power through the next bit. Onto Clay Hill now. It's a bit of a sweeping left corner. Watch Zero go through it. We'll follow him a little bit. And you come onto this rather wide right-hand turn there. You're at Druids. Oh, he's beached it before coming onto Lodge Corner, the final corner before coming into Deer Leap, which is this little bit here, before you come back onto the start-finish straight. So, short little track. I'll tell you what, stick with us for a minute, so we're going to watch, I believe, Aura is, yeah, so he's just coming round the start-finish straight now. So here we go, let's watch Aura's put in a lap round Oulton Park. So this is just practice, mind. Oof, invalidated, but hopefully he keeps going as if it wasn't. So Oraz, one of many Ginetta drivers in our championship, GT4 championship this time round. As you can see there, that first horrible chicane really catches you out. Let's see what happens through the next chicane now. So you can see a bit of lifting, but then back on the power a little bit before having to come off, before having to go on. Here we go through Druids. Oh, that's better. I thought for a minute he was going to run super wide there and just hit the gravel. Coming on to the last corner before the start-finish straight. So let's watch him again. Let's watch him put in. Let's watch him put in a lap without validating. So here we go. And to answer your question, Mango, I have no idea how many litres per 100 kilometres. So still on a valid lap, but time lost, but you can see it in the top left, it's beginning to tick back down again. Well, there we go. Ora's absolutely on one at the moment. So we'll see where it puts him if he can just keep this up. Go on, Oraz, keep that time up. You can see it there in the green. Green means he's beating his time. It's getting better and better as he goes. Only Druids and Lodge to go now before he crosses the line. Massive amount of time made up through Druids there. That's fantastic. Here we go through Lodge and Dearly. Oh, oof. And just like that, almost all the time is gone. So he's set an equal time to what he set last time. Now he has to try and beat that time again, but he's invalidated the lap. Never mind. Oh, watch that rejoin. 2 cars behind you now. He needs to rejoin the track, but it's got to be safe, preferably before the corner. Oof. And in the background you can see Blade Wolf in the Aston Martin V8 GT4. Got a new racer in with us tonight, it seems. So Sierra in the Maserati. Oh dear. But if there's anyone that can drive the Maserati effectively, it is this racing driver right here. So Sierra first started driving Maseratis with the Simufurs when we got together and did our New Year's Eve event. Very consistent Maserati driver, considering that there is no traction control, no ABS, and only one engine mapping, and very little setup options to take in. One thing I have just realised as well, that we'll sort out going into the actual event, is I don't have the custom liveries. So we will be taking a brief pause where I'll stop the stream very briefly to get all the drivers' custom skins. Notice the Aura's car. Aura's car looks like proper because we had it from last week. However, Sierra here may have uploaded a custom, but we don't know yet. Spirit as well may have uploaded, a custom, but we're not sure yet until we download the files. So quite a few couples in tonight's race. We've got Spirit and Sierra, who you just saw. These two here, Lunatic, that's Avalanche, excuse me. Lunatic in the green Porsche and Wushel in the, Wushel in the pink and white Porsche. They're together. We have Oraz, which some of you watching may definitely know tonight. And we have their partner, Blaze. There's a lot of couples racing one another tonight. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the marriage as such. Not that they're all married. If they're married, I don't know if they're married or not. I definitely know they're together though, so there you go. Hopefully it doesn't ruin said relationship. I'm wondering there if Blaze Pine was slightly shocked at listening to my stream just now whilst trying to drive, but there you go. Maybe it was a natural reaction to going off the track. Maybe they heard what I said and had a mini heart attack. We'll never know. Well, we will know. He'll probably tell me at the end if he heard me or not. Absolutely. Anyway, currently in P1 on the practice session is this driver. So we can see his custom livery. No, it's not. It's an in-game livery. Never mind. Bit of a wiggle there. Followed very closely by a Zero, which again, some of you may also know. You know what I think we're going to do? I think we're going to stop there now, just whilst we've got 5 minutes before the actual event and get the custom liveries. So bear with me 1 second whilst I take the stream off and do what I need to do. Any questions so far, guys? We will be coming back to Assetto Corsa. Definitely will be. It's just I need to grab the custom liveries, which I'll do that now. Oulton Park. Download deliveries. There's deliveries. Bear with me 1 minute, viewers, if you have just joined the stream. We've gone dark for the moment, just while I sort out the custom liveries. And in fact, actually, we'll pause there until we go into the actual event. And then you can really see what everybody's cars will look like tonight. Some of them, like Sierra's, may or may not have been a custom livery. It may just be a very quick paint job just so she can enter the race. But we'll see. It could, for all we know, it could be one of the best looking things around. Okay, so as promised, guys, we are back with ACC. We're in the series practice at the moment. Server's due to go down in about 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes, so take the time now, grab drinks, grab snacks. We're in for 10 minutes of practice, 7 minutes of qualifying, and a 20-minute race. I'm also going to take this time. No, I'm not. I'll just go at practice and do what I need to do. So feel free to grab drinks, guys. We will be waiting here for the next 4 minutes. Normally I would have the custom liveries beforehand, but I forgot until now. So there we go. At least all driver, if they have a custom livery, will get shown tonight, which is great. I wonder how much talking he can do. Most of you must be asking yourself right now, and to be quite honest, I'm full of crap. Of course, I say I'm full of crap. I lost my train of thought, so there we go. I was going to talk about something to demonstrate the point, but there we go. No, my sound didn't just die. Your speakers have not gone wrong. I just merely stopped talking. Still nothing yet. 3 minutes to go. Shall we take a sneak peek at liveries? Or shall we wait? Help me out, guys. What are we doing? Should we take a sneak peek at their liveries or should we wait? Shall we take a sneak peek at liveries or should we wait? Help me out, guys. What are we doing? Should we take a sneak peek at their liveries or should we wait? Mango, no, I don't have Corona. Mango, no, I don't have Corona. 6 of you in the chat currently. I wonder how many of you are actually racing drivers, keeping a close ear on what I'm saying about y'all. There's an American word for you, y'all. Let me know who you are and where you're from. 6 of you in the chat currently. I wonder how many of you are actually racing drivers, keeping a close ear on what I'm saying about y'all. There's an American word for you, y'all. Let me know who you are and where you're from. Sure, why not, Mango? It's a racing game at the end of the day, innit? Just whilst we wait for the server to come up, I thought I would show off my favourite car. Just whilst we wait for the server to come up, I thought I would show off my favourite car. So this is a car I've entered currently. It's the GT3 Porsche 991 GT3R. Sorry, Porsche 9912 Mark II GT3R. Favourite colour is British Racing Green. You can see it there. It's an absolute beast of a car as well. Sorry, Porsche 9912 Mark II GT3R. Favourite colour is British Racing Green. You can see it there. It's an absolute beast of a car as well. Thank you for the in-depth life story, Mango. Pleased to have you on board with my car that looks like your grand Snickers. That's fantastic. Moving on. Still no official. Oh, wait. There we are.
Green light. Go, go, go.
I have, in fact, received the new liveries. Spirit, thank you very much, and keep your eyes on the road, please. Anyway, so live practice is up. This is your live practice session. I get this wrong every time. It's 20 minutes of live practice. Anyway, so live practice is up. This is your live practice session. I get this wrong every time. It's 20 minutes of live practice. So for now, I'm going to take a break from voice chat whilst we let the practice play out. We'll be back in 17 minutes for live qualifying. Thank you very much. Oh, there's only so long that someone can stay quiet for, isn't there? Oh, well, I managed about 9 minutes there, and I'm just dying to chat. So I wonder what kind of commentary attitude we need to go with here. Do we go for a slow? Do we go for a slow sort of section of commentary where we watch the driver go into the section of the track where they will turn the corner, or do we get really energetic and comment on every living thing that Azure Goat is doing right now? Here he is, he's on the gas, he's fully on the gas, now he's on the brakes, he's going to go right because the corner only goes right. If you went left, you'd hit the barrier anyway. He comes up through Deer Leap now onto the start-finish straight. My track map's gone, so I've forgotten all the corners, but here we go. Round corner one as Fez Fox exits the pits now, as you're on another flying lap. And there's an example of how it could possibly happen. So you can see the overall Phil Murray. Oh god. Did any of you ever see the video when he did that brief commentary on the snooker? Ronnie O'Sullivan now taking the shot for the corner. Which ball is he going to hit? He's going to hit the white ball, which will then in turn hit the red ball, and hopefully he'll make the pot. He's missed it. 7 minutes of free practice left. Some drivers out, some drivers not out. Must be still working on their cars. We'll have a look at the quick class breakdown now. So we come to AM. We have actually, let's do something a bit different, something we haven't done before. So we'll have a look at some of the racers in the pit lane whilst they're here. So first we come to Azure Goat. Azure Goat comes from Azure Goat coming into this race from a 4-hour endurance race that finished about an hour ago, give or take. Adam will be using the special chalk. Oh, I love that clip. You can't not love Murray Walker. Anyway, so coming on to ZZ in the blue Camaro there. Here he is. Danny, a recent driver to us last week in the Ginetta. We have Kyle Lazuli, car number 271 in the green Porsche, very iconic to them, probably because they use it all the time. That's why it's iconic to them. Haha. Anyway, coming on, brilliant. Coming on to Sierra. So this is why we wanted the custom liveries. We can see Sierra has gone for a very minimal, minimal livery today. We can see here moving rounds that she has chosen to describe every little bit of the car to us. Oh, Sierra, I just don't know where we would be without you and your helpful Maserati. This is why we download custom liveries, guys, because they're absolute gems out there. Here we are with Blaze Pine now, so you can see their livery looks a little bit different, a tiny bit different to what it was if we weren't using the custom liveries. Got Lunatic coming into the pits now in the green Porsche. They're all the way back down here. Here we go. So another green Porsche, but with what looks like outlines of the German flag in black and gold there. I think. Anyway, I could be completely wrong, and it could be. It definitely could be not the German flag. Oh, and here we go. Here's Wuschel with her little custom livery. Always, always, always uses this livery. Sporting a team there that she takes on with Azure. Who's that in the window? Who's reflecting in the window? Is that me? Maybe anyway, moving around Wuschel's car. Here we are. Loving the LGBTQ plus flag and transgender flag. It is of course Pride Month this month, and here we go to Oraz. You can see they've worked very, very hard on their livery. Very well thought out indeed, Oraz. Love it. Avalanche using a livery from in-game here for the BMW. Wow, for the Mercedes. Fantastic looking GT4 car it is as well. They're getting ready to go out. Now we've seen everybody for now, but obviously with 2 minutes left to go, everybody's going to be out on track. We'll try and we'll catch up with some of the drivers on track. So we've got Fez Fox in the McLaren, car number 86. Currently running P1 out of 14, so well done, Fez. Keep up the good work. Next up is Blade in their very traditional coloured Aston Martin, grey and blue. This is Blade's own colours as such. He can often be seen sporting the Arcanine Underdog colours of cream, orange, and black. Tor is a new racing driver to us tonight. We've not seen him before, so welcome to the series. Very nice looking blue, black and white Porsche there as well. It's simple but quite elegant. Very striking design. And of course we have on the track now Spirit in the BMW. The only BMW in the series. Of course, they've added to their own custom liveries as well. They definitely, in this car, cannot believe it's butter. It's not butter, excuse me. Apart from that, on the hood, very striking design on the hood. But yeah, that's Spirit in the BMW. So Zero Goat, another McLaren now, sporting his own livery. Goat Dynamics Racing, that's his team, as he comes to a bit of a stop with 34 seconds left to go. You can see the Goat Wolf picture there, also sported by Wuschel. These two have raced, excuse me, in their own team together. And here we go. I think we've been through everyone. Yeah, so we've definitely been through everyone so far. Not sure if there's going to be many people joining now. There's 1 minute 45 seconds of wait time before we go into the official qualifying session. We're definitely missing 2 tonight. I believe Ant was one of them. He can't make it tonight.
Green light. Go, go, go.
A lot of cars heading out on track together. Look at them go. So almost everybody going out at once, but a few staying behind to let the pain train, as it were, get away. Stick to this camera for now, but oh, it's because that camera is absolutely rubbish. But anyway, so we will stick with Spirit for a lap. We're aware that there's cars out ahead of Spirit at the moment, but we will stick with him for now. Not very long left of this qualifying session. Effectively, drivers are going to get out, put in an out lap, and get a 1 lap wonder, unless they can spare the fuel. Anyway, we're going to go on board with Spirit now as he comes down to the final sector of Oulton Park today. Okay, so here we go, down to start finish straight now, heading to turn 1. See how he takes the corner, very quickly through the corner as well, just hanging on there now, coming out very quickly, going down, Denton's onto Cascades now, coming out onto Lakeside, still doing a relatively quick lap as such. See the top left there, the time is ticking down. Anyway, going on to Island Bend before coming into Shell Oils now. Very smooth so far from Spirit. This has been very textbook as such. You can see the amount of lifting and gas applying that Spirit is doing anyway to get through that corner. Anyway, never mind, we're on to the next corner already. The first hard chicane. Excuse me. Which of course is full stones. Anyway, we've done full stones now, that was very quick indeed. So the next one we go down to is Knickerbrook Cascade, Knickerbrook chicane. Still the tyres remain intact. Hope that's not the case by the end of this, because that's just funny. Anyway, after Knickerbrook we come on to Clay Hill now. Spirit doing very well indeed to be plus 4.4 seconds ahead of his time. Taking the road very quickly down to Druids. Oh, a little bit of a slide there, but he gets through it. Final 2 corners are Lodge and then into Deer Leap. We're just going to call it Leap for now because we can't really be bothered saying that. Anyway, here they come over the start-finish straight. They put themselves in P2 with Fez Fox and P1, only 0.9 seconds. Only 0.9 of a second off of Fez Fox. Very valiant lap indeed. Meanwhile, Danny going into P3. Lunatic. Oh, why has it gone this easy? Never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. Oh well, we'll come back to Azure Goat. We have Lunatic in P4 anyway. Azure Goat is absolutely on the lap. You can see come through Foilstones there in a Knickerbrook. Very smooth so far there now, heading down the long straight to Druids Corner. And in answer to your question, apparently this is quite a strong track for the GT4 cars. I was out myself in the Alpine the other day, and I found I had a lot of fun in it. Absolute textbook so far from Azure. He comes through leap onto the start finish straight. Comes across the line to put himself in P4, pushing Lunatic down one. Oof, but Wusho is there, and Lunatic is back in the game, pushing Azure Goat all the way down to 6th place. Kyle Azuli is in 7th now. Let's have a look. I'd like to have a look. Gosh, I'd like to have a look at them. There we go. Got Kyle Azuli now, having a bit of a wiggle on track, probably on an out lap more than a qualifying lap at the moment. There's 1 minute left of qualifying, so we have a yellow flag on the track, but hopefully that'll clear quickly. It does. Anyway, so Kyle Azuli comes on to the start finish straight now, heading down to the first corner. Bit of a yellow flag there as one of the drivers does in fact go off. As you can see in the top left there, they're not quite beating their time, but they're beginning to pull it back. That's excellent now, going into Shell Oils. Smooth around that very banked corner indeed. Hopefully they can make the time up. They're currently running P9 out of 14, with Blaze in P10, Sierra in P11 in the Maserati, and Oraz in P12. You can see on the leaderboard there, Azure Goat pushes Lunatic into 7th place now. Wonder what Lunatic can do to pull that back. Danny has gone into P2. Spirit has been pushed all the way down to P3. So your top grid drivers are Fezfox in P1, Danny in P2, and Spirit in P3. As we have a minute of max time left to let the drivers put in their final qualifying laps. We have Wusho in P4, Toru in P5, Lunatic will take P6 after gaining position back again from Azure Goat in P7 now. Blade Wolf will be in P8. Followed by Lazuli, who holds on to P9 respectively. Blaze Pine takes P10 in the Ginetta. Sierra with the Maserati comes into P11, just ahead of Oraz in the other Ginetta, with ZZ taking 13th place in the Camaro, and Avalanche, you can see there, is in 14th place in the Mercedes. So here we go. So quick 3-minute wait now, guys, until we come onto the grid. Oof, I missed it there completely. Literally last minute spot. P9 taken by Blaze, pushing Kyle Azuli down to P10. Zuli clearly not happy with this as we continue to wait to go onto the grid. Welcome to the stream if you've just joined. We are just waiting to go to the grid now. Currently on about a 2-minute wait before we go to the grid, allowing the drivers some time to settle down, grab a drink, and get ready to go for the first 20 minutes of Oulton Park Simufur GT4 round 3. And they're off. No, I'm just joking. We're not there yet. So let's get a look at everyone then whilst we wait the 2 minutes and 39. So drivers now have 2 minutes 39 seconds, or 3 minutes, excuse me, in total, to sort the car out, get the setup absolutely right for 20 minutes. How much fuel are they taking? What tyres are they going with? What brake pads are they going with? Are there any last minute changes to be done on the car? Nice grid so far. So 14 out of the 16 drivers that we've seen so far. So still a really good turnout. Minute and a half left before we go on to a formation lap before going into the first 20 minutes. So you can hear the cars roar to life now. Engines start. 15 seconds until a full formation lap now. So we'll stick with Fez Fox as Fez is the leader. So during this period of the race, all drivers are reminded to go in single file. So round about now, drivers will be asked to get into their 2x2 formation again. So here you go, you can see it now, they're all lining back up, 2x2. So we're not going to stick with one individual driver for the first corner. When they make it through this bit of the track, we're going to take a run down to turn 1. So shortly after this, they'll be given the green light. So we're going to take a long, quick run down to turn 1. So lap 1, turn 1 is just about to begin at Oulton Park. The lights have gone green. Fez Fox is in first place with Danny and Spirit in second and third. Wushel respectively holds fourth. Here they go through lap 1, guys. It's all very clean so far. A little bit of a wiggle from Sierra, but everybody gets through cleanly. Fantastic work so far. A lot of people going 2x2 now. You can see Blaze and Blade Wolf going side by side along with Lunatic and Toru side by side through the corner. A little bit of a wobble there from Oraz. He just about loses it, but he gets out of Avalanche's way, allowing Avalanche to gain the position. Fez Fox very clearly through the hairpin there with Spirit, Danny and Wushel very close behind one another. A lot of the cars still bunched up together. Still no accidents yet though. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Fantastic racing so far. See there, Oraz having that bit of a wiggle, sort of struggled there, but hopefully he's got 20 minutes to gain back. Everybody going through Knickerbrook now. Anyway, back up to Fez Fox, who shoots off into the lead with Spirit in second, Danny in third, Wushel in fourth, Lunatic in fifth, Blade in sixth, Toru in seventh, Azurgo in P8. Oh, they've all gone. Ha! Brilliant, they've all gone. Kyla Zulu there trying to get that position back from Blaze Pine. A little bit of a bump going on there. So absolutely fantastic start to the race. So here we go, back again. So Fez Fox P1, Spirit takes P2. Danny in P3 very close behind. Wushel and Lunatic in P4 and 5 respectively, racing one another for position. P6 is Blade Wolf, a little bit of a scuff at the back there. Toru, our newest driver, is in P7. Azurgo's in P8. With Sierra in the Maserati in P9. Kyla Zuli is in P10, taking the position from Blaze, who's now in P11. P12 is taken up by Avalanche. P13 is Zizi in the blue Camaro, and Oraz, after having a little bit of a crash, is holding up in P14. We'll see what goes on now. Quite a mixture of cars coming through the corner together. Kyla Zuli and Sierra come together, taking Avalanche with them. What is going on there, everyone? Sierra makes it on. Got Kyla Zuli going slow at the back there, and Avalanche has lost it as well. Avalanche, unfortunately, being the biggest victim of that recent incident. So lineup has slightly changed. We've got Avalanche in 14th. Lazuli holds 13th. Oraz holds 12th now. Chasing Sierra in 11th there. Sierra may be dealing with damage now, so we'll see how the last 16 minutes of her race looks. CZ has moved all the way up to P10. Fantastic. Fantastic. Blaze Pine moves up to P9 with Azurgo in P8, staying relatively out of the trouble now. Toro in P7. Blade Wolf in P6, Lunatic in P5, Wushel in P4. Danny and Spirit having a very good race for P2, excuse me, as Fez Fox holds off P1. Danny lost it. Oh no. Wushel taking every opportunity now to take that position. Off she goes. Coming to Druids together, side by side. Look at these two, they're nuts. Wushel getting the better exit off the corner. It's well known that if you see Wushel in your mirrors, in your rear view mirrors, you're either going to have to defend pretty hard or just accept the fact that she is going past you. She will never stay in your rear view mirrors for long. Anyway, we've got a fight going on between Toro and Blade Wolf. I'm sure there'll be a bit more of a race to look at there in a little bit. Blaze Pine now in a little bit of a race on his own, P9. ZZ and Sierra, though, seem to be... What is going on? Oh, there we go. We've got ZZ, Sierra and Kyle Azuli getting into it now. Oh, bit of a wiggle from the Maserati there. Sierra doing very well to hold on. Oh, and there go the tyres. Sierra takes out the tyres. Let's face it, who needs them anyway? Come back to these three in a minute. Anyway, down in P13 now. In a race on their own, Oraz with a rather battered and scuffed looking car. Probably not worth pulling into the pits now, as it'll be about 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes of damage, which can effectively ruin the race for Oraz. So they're going to hold P13 unless Avalanche can speed up and move in, take the position, or Oraz can catch the front of the grids that are beginning to bunch up ever so slowly. Sierra and ZZ having a bit of a race with one another now. And here they go side by side with one another. Sierra gets the better exit. Oh, the slight contact there is to come into the chicane, the hairpin. And Sierra has the better exit out the corner. Excuse the crabbing, that's not something that you normally see on a stream. But anyway, Lazuli is now catching up with ZZ. Oh dear. Bit of an issue there with ZZ going through the corner. They hold Kai up. But coming out of it, they still manage to hold on to the position. Come back to that there. Unfortunately, Oraz and Avalanche in P13 and 14 respectively. Meanwhile, up at the front of the grid, we have Fez Fox. Bit of a change around there. So we've got Fez Fox in P1 holding on very well. Spirit holding on to P2. with Wushel in P3, Danny sadly losing out to P4. Lunatic P5, and Azurgo has now moved into P6. Fantastic for Azurgo. Blaze Pine and Blade Wolf are taking P7 and 8. Blade Wolf has Toru following him for position. Keep an eye on them. Anyway, further down the grid, oh, wrong way. Further down the grid, we've got Lazuli chasing down Zizi for position. Zizi's done okay so far to hold on, but Lazuli is just creeping up behind him, going into the hard chicane now. We watch the two of them.
Halfway through, not over yet.
Come into the chicane very smoothly. Through it they go as we get the 10-minute announcement, the halfway announcement. So Lazuli's going to go for the overtake now as they come down to the other chicane. Who gets through? Oh! And Zizi just holds on, but Lazuli seems to almost get the better exit. Can they undercut and pull out? Zizi wobbling there. Lazuli going try and get past again, but they just cannot let it happen. Zizi is not letting it happen in the Camaro tonight. Check that battle out in just a couple of seconds time. Meanwhile, back to Toru and Blade Wolf. Blade still holding on to position ahead of him, so well done to them. But Toru seems to have gained there. Blaze in a little race of his own there in P8. 7, excuse me. Azurgo again, very spread out grid it is now in P6. Lunatic is in P5 after what looks like some damage there, maybe. Meanwhile, we've got Danny and Wushel fighting it out for P3 now. Spirit doing very well to hold on to P2. And of course, Feds Fox is away with it in P1. Let's go back down the grid to where some battles were. So here we are, Blade and Toru again. Toru trying to make a move, but just cannot make it happen. Blade Wolf defending hard there. Anyway, we've got Sierra out on her own now. Meanwhile, we've got Zizi and Kai. One another. Zizi making all kinds of mistakes now, and Kai managed to punch out. You can see Oraz in the background there has in fact made up some time on Zizi and Kai. Hopefully they can get to a position where they can sit back, relax, and watch the carnage that may happen and capitalise from it. Meanwhile, unfortunately, Avalanche still watches P14, and for some reason, Kai shoots off the track. Kai shoots off the track, and Oraz gets a position. What just happened? What just happened? Anyway, so now we have Oraz in P12, Kai in P13, and Avalanche in P14. Oraz, understandably, putting his pedal to the metal to try and increase that gap to Kai Lazuli. Now Zizi is still holding on to P11. Meanwhile, back in this little battle, Blade seems to have opened up a gap now to Toru. What other battles have we got going on? Oh, we've got this one. We've got Danny and Wushel. So Wushel has taken Danny. And we'll be in P3. Danny looking to take it back now. Spirit still holding on to P2 with a gap ahead of Wushel and Fez Fox in P1. Lunatic having his own little race in P5 here in the Porsche. Go on, Luna. Good job, mate. And Azura in P6 with no one in front or behind him. a good position to end in there in 6 minutes time. Blaze Pine, excuse me, not Wolf, he's a fox. Blaze holds on to P7. In 8th and 9th we have Blaze and Toru, and P10 will be Sierra, now in her own little race. And they're the top 10 drivers, so they've done very well so far. Anyway, the better racing and more action seems to be happening in our bottom half of the grid, everyone. So we have Zizi in P11, Oraz and Kai will fight for position of P12. And Avalanche will hold on to P14 after being in that accident. Looks like we're going to get into it in the last 5 minutes with Oraz and Kai again. You can see Oraz' car is a little bit scuffed where they've had damage. What happens? Oraz loses the car. Oraz loses the car, giving the position back to Kyle Azuli. Oh no, that's not what you want. So Kyle Azuli holds P12 and is now gaining again on Zizi with 4 minutes left of the track. You can see here Kai is absolutely gunning for it after the Camaro. The Camaro doing well so far to defend off the Porsche. Oh, a few mistakes from the Camaro. He holds on to the position. Kai at this point looks like he's sitting back and waiting for the mistakes to happen. Almost tries to go side by side with one another. They're going to may try for an undercut. Meanwhile, the rest of the grid hasn't really changed. We'll come back to these two in just a minute. Yep, nope, still the same. Back to Kyle Azuli and Zizi now. Very intense race happening here, and Kyle Azuli takes the position. He comes out the corner. They come out the corner a little bit better. No, they don't. In fact, no, they don't. Oh my gosh, Zizi holds on to the position. Oraz goes for an overtake and loses the car again. Zizi loses the car completely, just opening the door for Kyle Azuli to take P11 now in the last 3 minutes of this race. What is this race, everyone? What a race at the back of the pack. What a race. And it seems that Toru is in fact overtaking Blade Wolf. So Blade Wolf is now in P9, Toru holds P8. Apologies, we didn't see that action happen. But apart from that, the rest of the track is the same. Azurgo in 6, Lunatic in 5, Danny in 4, chasing Wushel down for P3. It's going to go down to the final nail with these two, it seems. 2.5 minutes left of the race. Lunatic decided in the background there he absolutely did not see that sign as necessary, so therefore it's no longer going to be there. Meanwhile, you can see the Ginetta still working on closing the gap to the Porsche. Wushel having to race harder than she's raced before to keep this Ginetta off her back. Danny creeping up ever so slowly. Here we go, we could see a 2x2 going through now. Is he going to pull out? He does pull out. Got the chicanes come in, and Wushel makes the corner ahead of Danny, but Danny seems to get the undercut on her, holds off Wushel. Nope, Wushel holds off Danny, excuse me. Very close to these two again, 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the race as they head up to Druid's corner. Wushel still doing her best to hold on to P3. Danny fighting as hard as he can to push down Wushel to P4. Get an announcement in a minute that the leader is on the final lap of the race.
The leader is on final lap now.
So when Fez Fox crosses the line this time round, the racing stops and everyone has to accept the position. A bit of a wobble from Danny there. He's going to start losing time to Wushel if he doesn't focus. We'll come back to them later. Lunatic will hold P5. Azurgo is in P6. Blaze is in P7, but Toru has caught him up, and Blade Wolf will remain in P8. What's going to happen with these two? We'll come back in just a second. Anyway, Blade Wolf in P9, and the last of the top 10 is Sierra, all on her own out there, and the very glorious looking Maserati. Anyway, we have Kyla Zuli in P11 now after Zizi and Oraz just apparently let them through. Avalanche has gained on Oraz but seems to have crashed, allowing Oraz to go back through to P13. Whew, what's going on? Fez Fox is in his race on his own there with Spirit still looking to close the gap. Danny and Wushel will come together again now. Coming on to Druid's corner now. We're nearly finished the race between these two. What can Danny do from this point to gain P3? Danny knows there's going to have to be something now if he can. The start-finish line is just round the corner.
The leader has finished the race.
He goes wide and Wushel comes through to take P3 with Danny in P4. There we go. Lunatic will come across the line now to take P5. Azurgo holding on to P6 there. There's no one around him. There's absolutely no one around Azurgo. Very well done for P6. P7 is at the moment Blaze Pine, but Toru has got a few corners left to make the position. It could all come down to this. Toru is going to try for it. It doesn't happen. Blaze Pine holds onto the position and comes home in P7. With Toru, our newest driver, in P8. Well done, you two. Blade Wolf holds on to P9. Oops. The Sierra coming across the track there in P10. Kyla Zuli there in P11 now. After having a hard fight through that race, they have managed to secure P11. They'll probably be a little bit pissed off with that because it's not the top 10. But what a fight to come back from. Oh, P12 is taken by the blue Camaro of ZZ. Oraz coming through in P13. Look at the battered car that he's driving. That poor car. And of course, last but definitely not least is unfortunately Avalanche, who seems to have lost it again in the last corner. What a shame for Avalanche. Very unfortunate. And so comes on in a minute. We'll take a 3-minute pause before we go into the second qualifying. However, there is your leaderboard. P1 is Fez Fox. P2, all the way over there, for some reason the camera angle's rubbish, is Spirit. Congratulations. Well done, Spirit, again. Sorry, continuing on there. Wushel coming home in P3 after fighting very hard with Danny. Very good race between these two. Lunatic brought it home in P5 after being on the track for mostly mostly on his own there. Same could be said for Azure, who came home in P6. Blaze Pine holds on to P7, just about nearly caught by Toru in P8 there. You can see he's only 200ths of a second off. Blade Wolf ends up coming home in P9 with Sierra in the yellow Maserati in P10. Kyla Zuli brings the car home for P11, just losing out on a top 10 finish. Zizi comes home in P12, Oraz in P13, and Avalanche brings the car home in P14. And that is race 1, everyone. Well done to everyone for today's first part of the race. We're going into qualifying 2. We're going into the next session. And when we go for the next 7 minutes of qualifying, we'll take a short break where the timetables will be up on the screen for you guys to watch, whilst I go and grab a quick drink and we get into the second race. Okay, so there we go, guys.
Green light,
Next
go, go,
qualifying
go.
session is in place. And there are the timetables. So we'll see you, I shall see you in 7 minutes time. And we're back, ready to go live again for another 20-minute race. The final 20-minute race of tonight. Round 3, which is Oulton Park. If you have just joined us, welcome to the stream, welcome to Oulton Park. Due to go live into the race in a few minutes now, where there'll be a full formation lap before we go into the final 20 minutes. You can see the grid looks a little bit different now. Fez Fox still remains in first place. However, between Wusho and Spirit in 2 and 3, very close indeed. Toru and Danny in 4 and 5. Lunatic this time in P6 with Azurgo in P7. Kyla Zuli has had a better start now with P8. Blaze is in P9. Blade Wolf is in P10. Oraz is qualified a little bit better in P11. ZZ will take P12 again. Sierra and Avalanche will take up P14 and 13 respectively. Here we are having a look at the start grid now. Bit of a different order, the start grid now. Two Porsches lining up, two green Porsches lining up behind one another. Some of the drivers saying hello to all of you watching tonight. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Been quite a consistent number of people in the stream. Unsure whether or not it's just spectators or whether or not it's racing drivers as well. .30 seconds now until the cars get ready to go. So last time we had Fez and Wusho in P1 and 2, Wusho would simply not leave Fez alone. She absolutely gave him something to race for. I believe that was on our first round, which was in fact at... oh, I forget. Round 2 was Zolder, and round 1 we can't remember. So in a minute we'll jump to turn 1 as always. We love watching lap 1, turn 1. See if the drivers can keep it as clean as they did last race. It was a very, very clean lap 1. Cars now probably have a notification to line up 2 by 2 as we come onto Druid's corner. Alright, so we're going to get ready at lap 1, turn 1 at Oulton Park. Your final race tonight for the Simufur GT4 Championship. Lights are going to go green any minute now. And we get underway for the final race of tonight. Fez Fox, Wushel and Spirit hold P1, 2 and 3.
Green light, give it all you can.
So here we go. Last time tonight, all 14 cars barrel down to first corner. Spirit getting a better corner on Wushel there. Oh no, Blade Wolf, Kyle Azuli and Sierra come together in lap 1, turn 1. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, that was a mess. Meanwhile, we have cars going 3, 4 by side here. What's going on? Everybody's getting into it now. Spirit holds on to P2 after getting an advantage on Wushel in corner 1. So now comes Lazuli, Sierra and Blade Wolf. Oof, and Danny is straight on Blade. Danny is straight on Wushel again. That is going to be another hard race for Wushel. Easy running a little bit wide there, but chasing down Oraz a little bit. Not Oraz, excuse me, Avalanche. Avalanche getting a better start. Oraz getting a great start as well. Toru moving on Blaze Pine now. Oh, the two come together. Of course that move was never going to work. Oh, slightly unsafe rejoin from Blaze there. That was nearly an accident. And Lazuli, Sierra and Blade Wolf come through respectively. Deary me, guys, what is going on? Anyway, so coming back down to it, we have P1, which is Fez Fox, P2 is Spirit, P3 is Wushel, with Danny following very close. Are these camera angles? Danny following very close behind Lunatic in P5, Zirgo remains in P6, Oraz doing better this race right now in P7 with Blaze in P8, Avalanche is in P9, ZZ will take P10 and hopefully he can hold Toru off in P11 there. Meanwhile Lazuli is in P12 and will look to chase down Toru. Blade Wolf seems to have overtaken Sierra there. I think she briefly lost it. Blade Wolf now holds P13. And Sierra in her own race now in P14. Hopefully she can catch the rest of the pack up ahead there. Looks like in a few moments Avalanche and Lazuli are going to get into it. Orad seems to have gone off there, it's a shame. They look to rejoin the track, they rejoin just in front of Lazuli. Torres come into the pits now, I'm not understanding why there. Anyway, Lazuli makes the move on Orad, sticks to the inside but loses it completely. And Avalanche comes round the corner, dodges Kai there, nearly loses the car himself. That was mental. Kai and Blade come together for a second time round now. Blade losing out on the position there this time, again. Just like to point out, that was a fantastic save from Avalanche. That could have gone all kinds of wrong. We'll come back to these guys a bit later. Blaze in his own race there. After being... Nope, sorry. Blaze in his own race there. Azure in his own race there. And meanwhile, up the front here, we've got Lunatic chasing Danny, chasing Wushel, chasing Spirit, who's chasing... Well, I would say chasing Fez Fox, but Fez Fox is gone. Fez Fox is absolutely gone and having none of it. That's going to be to point out. Yes, the stewards are going to be busy this week, it seems. We'll come back to these two in a minute. Let's check a little bit further down the grid. So, meanwhile, Lunatic, Azurgo, and Blaze are in their own race here. You've got ZZ and Oraz in a race of their own there, with Avalanche looking to hopefully capitalise on it, maybe. Lazuli will take P10 this time round, so they are in the top 10. Blade Wolf will be in P11. Sierra is in her own race in P12, but looks like she's slowly but surely closing the gap. But she does come into the pits. I wonder if she's coming back out of the pits. Oh goodness, Torres seems to have stopped for the night. I believe they're not coming back out again. And I believe Sierra has also stopped as well. Oh, here we go on these two though. It's Wushel and Danny. So we saw in the last race, Danny absolutely kept Wushel on her toes. Okay, so it seems that Wushel has got a little bit of a gap on Danny there. Bit of breathing space, but I'm definitely sure Danny's not going to give up anytime soon. Is absolutely flying in that Janetta. We'll come back to these two in a few minutes. It seems like Lunatic is very slowly but surely catching up to the back of that pack. Azurgo holding on to P6. Blaze Pine holds on to P7. Avalanche loses the position to ZZ. Nope. What is going on there? That's Avalanche in P8 being chased by Oraz. Blade Wolf seems to have taken Kai back for a position now, so it's Blade in P10 and Kai in P11. Blade Wolf opening a gap on Kai there. And Oraz is going to get into it with Avalanche for P9. Oh, Avalanche runs far too wide on that corner. Hopefully the rejoin is somewhat safe. They do join in time. Blade Wolf now chasing Oraz down. Meanwhile, it's Kai and Lazuli. Kai and Avalanche in it, but Kai gets by smoothly. So at the back of the grid now we have Oraz chasing ZZ, but not far behind them is Blade Wolf chasing Oraz. Oraz goes straight over the corner this time round. What's happening there? Ores, it seems, is losing out on multiple positions now as Kai sneaks up and takes the position going into this chicane. Ores slots in very nicely, and it is unfortunately Avalanche that will take last place for now. Let's go back up the grid a little bit. Must have been a mistake there from Spirit. Is now in P4. Danny has taken Wushel as well for P3. For P3, but it ends up being P2 after they take over from Spirit. So it's now Fezfox in P1 who's away with it. Danny in P2, Wushel in P3. Wushel not giving up on it though, and Spirit of course will try and gain back the positions he's lost. Lunatic holds on to P5, P6 is a 0 goal, P7 is Blaze Pine. So far, very close knitted race this one's going to be. We'll come back to it in just a second. Lunatic seems to have caught up to the pack as well. There's 10 minutes left of the race now. Kai lose position again. Last we saw he was ahead of Avalanche, who runs slightly wide there. So it's now...
We are halfway through, keep it up.
We have one driver that's left the race completely now. We'll try and find out who that is. Oh, unfortunately, Oraz has lost it there, allowing Kyla Zuli through. And there's an absolute shame on Oraz. Absolute shame. Never mind. So Blaze Pine holds on to P8 then. Blade Wolf is in P7. P6 is a 0 goal. What are these camera angles? P6 is a 0 goal, but Blade Wolf is slowly but surely catching up. Lunatic's in P5 and trying to take on Spirit, and Danny has opened up a gap to Wushel for P2 and P3. Oh, Lunatic absolutely skitting the car across the corner there. Probably lost a little bit of time now to Spirit, but there's still 8 minutes left of the race. And Zero Goat there has the time to spend in P6, having a little race on his own. Blade Wolf has just taken on Blaze Pine there and won the position. See Blade Wolf there very slowly but surely making his way back up the pack. 7 minutes left of the race now. We'll see what they can do. A bit further back, we've got Avalanche chasing Lazuli for position. And meanwhile, Oraz will hold on for P11 unless he can do something to bring it back. Okay, so we see there Fezfox, not quite a gap on the ones behind him, but still a gap nonetheless. Danny is in P2, definitely opening up a gap now to Wushel, who's being chased down by both Lunatic and Spirit now. Lunatic has very much closed the gap on Spirit. and Wushel, so he'll look at joining the race between those two for P3. It's a three-way battle for P3, everyone. Come back to these three in just a minute. Go back down the grid again. Azurgo is sat in P6. Blade in a race on their own in P7. Lazuli holds on to P8. Avalanche is taking Blaze Pine for P10. P9, excuse me, and Blaze Pine is now in P10. Horaz is in P11. Well, hopefully they can catch up to the rest of the folks. Cutting off quite a bit of the track there. Hopefully they don't get track limit warnings. Danny will hold on to a P2 for definite if he keeps racing like this. Meanwhile, we go back to the three-way battle between Wushel, Spirit and Lunatic. Some extremely good pace between all three of these drivers now. Quiet between these three. We'll see what happens. Let's check further down the grid. Azurgo is in P6, Blade Wolf is in P7, Lazuli in P8 is doing their absolute best to get back as high as they can on the grids. Avalanche will take P9 and Blaze is in P10 now with a very, very battered looking car. And Oraz has pulled into the pits. I believe that's it for him. He has stopped the race. So only 10 racers in the grid now, meaning that there is a definite chance of a top 10 finish tonight. Three minutes left of the race to go. There's been a yellow flag up ahead. Who's that, I wonder? It was Fez. It's Fez Fox. Fez Fox has lost the car, allowing Danny to come through to P2. P1, excuse me, pushing Fez to P2. Wushel is... No, that's wrong. Spirit goes on the inside of Wushel there. It's now Spirit in P2, Wushel in P3, but Wushel's not giving up that easy. Danny can't believe the opportunity he must have had now. So these two are going at it. Fez Fox will hold on to P4 now as Lunatic looks to chase him down for that position. So that got immediately interesting there as Fez Fox lost the car from P1 and is now fallen all the way down to P4. He's chasing Wushel Chasing Wishel for P3, makes the pass, it's successful. Oh, there he goes. Lunatic and Wishel will now race each other for P4. Fez on an absolute warpath now, a minute and a half left of the race. Lunatic gets Wishel. Poor Wishel gets pushed all the way down to P5. P4, excuse me. So it's Danny all the way in the lead now in P1, Spirit in P2. Fez Fox following very closely behind in P3. Lunatic is in P4 and Wishel will be in P5.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Leader on the final lap. That is Danny who's on the final lap leading this final lap in P1. What utter luck it has been for Danny tonight. He absolutely must not be able to believe what has gone on ahead of him. He comes round, there's absolutely no gap to him. Fez Fox and Spirit battle it out behind him there. Lunatic's in P4 and Wishel's in P5. Let's go back down the grid then. Spirit and Fez Fox. See if Lunatic and Wishel can do anything together. These two are getting ever so closer. Azurgo is in P6, Blade is in P7, Lazuli is in P8, Avalanche in P9, Blaze is in P10. Or as Sierra and Toru have unfortunately stopped tonight. That is a shame, but we can understand why. Meanwhile, back down in the top half of the grid this time, Spirit doing his absolute best in the BMW to stay away from Fez Fox. Lunatic and Wishel are in their own battle for P4. There's only a few corners left after this. We'll see what Spirit can do as they get closer and closer to the finish line. Spirit absolutely concentrating like mad now as they round the next to final corner. They're on the final corner now. Fez Fox wiggles the car again, and it's Spirit that comes home to take P2 with Fez Fox in P3. Lunatic will take, oh come on game, what is that even? Lunatic will take P4, Wishel will take P5. Again the game. There's our Zero in P6. He's on his way home to the start finish line now. Azurgo having another good race today. Takes P6. And there's Blade Wolf who will take P7 after fighting from the back of the grid. Lazuli who will take P8. Avalanche will bring it home in P9 this time. Blaze Pine must have had another off, unfortunately. Very much struggling to get the car home in P10. Deary me. And here comes Blaze now in P10 in car number 37. And there is the end of the race. And that concludes this stream, guys. Thank you very much for watching tonight. It's been a fantastic night of racing. First race was the back half of the grid, getting into a fight. The second race tonight was the front half of the grid as well, getting into a fight. with a very, very different, very different grid finish at the end. Well done to Danny in his second race for Simufur, wins a round. Fez Fox, unfortunately, losing the car on his own. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you next week for Suzuka next Sunday. Same time, 7:30. See you there. Thank you very much. Night night.